1. How Kirk Cousins' NFL journey could have changed. A look at the 2024 offseason. 2. Kirk Cousins opens up on Falcons' shocking Michael Penix Jr. draft pick, NFL drama explained. 3. Kirk Cousins' 2024 free agency regrets. Vikings move on, Falcons drama revealed. 4. Kirk Cousins reveals feelings about Falcons in Netflix's Quarterbacks Season 2. 1. How Kirk Cousins' NFL journey could have changed. A look at the 2024 offseason. Imagine a world where the 2024 NFL offseason unfolded differently, where one decision changed the course of history for several teams. This is the story of what could have been if Kirk Cousins, the veteran quarterback, had rejected the Atlanta Falcons' offer. It's been over a year since Cousins signed with the Falcons, but the wounds of deceit still linger. In a shocking revelation, Cousins expressed his feelings of being misled by the Falcons during negotiations, which ultimately led to him signing a 4-year contract worth $180 million. But here's the bombshell. Cousins confessed that he wouldn't have joined the Falcons if he had known they planned to draft a quarterback with the 8th overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, a pick they used to select Michael Penix Jr. The question on everyone's mind is, what if the Falcons had been transparent about their quarterback situation? Would Cousins have stayed with the Minnesota Vikings, the team he loved? Former NFL agent Joel Corey weighs in, stating that the Falcons withheld crucial information from Cousins, which would have been a deal-breaker if he had known. Corey's statement sparks a heated debate. Should teams be honest with players about their plans, even if it means losing them? And this is the part most people miss. The ripple effect of the Falcons' decision could have altered the fate of several teams. Let's dive into a possible scenario where Cousins stays in Minnesota. In this alternate reality, Cousins would have likely battled J.J. McCarthy for the starting job, but due to McCarthy's injury, Cousins would have taken the reins. With Cousins at the helm, the Vikings could have potentially won 15 or 16 games, setting him up for a massive contract in free agency this year. But that's not all. The domino effect would have been staggering. Sam Darnold, who signed with the Vikings in our original timeline, would have instead joined the Denver Broncos. The Broncos, with Darnold on board, might have passed on drafting Bo Nix, opting for Brock Bowers with the 12th overall pick. This would have given Darnold a formidable weapon in his first season with the Broncos. Meanwhile, the Las Vegas Raiders, who were interested in Nix, would have snatched him up with the 13th overall pick. Fast forward to March 2025, and Cousins, having stayed in Minnesota, would have likely signed a 1-year deal, knowing the Vikings would move on to McCarthy in 2025. This would have made him a free agent this year, and the Cleveland Browns, looking for a seasoned quarterback, might have reunited him with coach Kevin Stefanski, whom he worked with in Minnesota. The what-if scenario raises thought-provoking questions. Should teams prioritize honesty with players, even if it means losing them? Would the outcome have been better for all parties involved if the Falcons had been transparent? The controversy surrounding the Falcons' decision sparks a debate that will continue to rage on. As we reflect on the 2024 NFL offseason, we are left wondering, what could have been if the Falcons had done things differently? The answer lies in the complex web of possibilities, where one decision can change the course of history. So, we ask you, do you think the Falcons were wrong to mislead Cousins, or was it just a part of the game? Share your thoughts in the comments below. 2. Kirk Cousins opens up on Falcons' shocking Michael Penix Jr. draft pick, NFL drama explained. Did the Falcons pull a fast one on Kirk Cousins? This NFL controversy will have you questioning loyalty versus strategy. Here's the shocking twist. After signing Kirk Cousins to a $100+ million guaranteed contract, the Atlanta Falcons did something that left their new QB stunned. They drafted Michael Penix Jr., a rookie quarterback, with the *8th overall pick just weeks later. On the new Netflix series *Quarterback*, Cousins finally opened up about feeling misled by this bold move. But here's the kicker. Cousins admits he might have stayed with the Minnesota Vikings if he'd known Atlanta planned to invest so heavily in a young QB. Why this matters. Teams often draft QBs, but timing counts. NFL teams regularly draft quarterbacks to build for the future, even with starters in place. But the Falcons' choice to pick Penix so highly despite having just handed Cousins a massive deal, raises eyebrows. As Cousins noted, "If I had the information around free agency, it certainly would have affected my decision. This isn't just about football, it's about trust between players and franchises." The injury that changed everything. Cousins led Atlanta to a 6-3 start until disaster struck. A brutal hit from Saints' Peyton Turner in Week 10 left him clutching his right arm. What followed was one of the worst stretches of his career: 8 interceptions and 0 touchdowns across 4 games. Now, Cousins reveals he was more injured than he let on. "At the time, it felt like just more pain he had to work through," he said, "but the damage was real." The Falcons eventually benched him in Week 16, handing the reins to Penix. Benching reality hits hard. When Penix took over, Cousins admitted he didn't want to rest and risk losing his job. "You never want to give someone else the chance, they might run with it," he explained, referencing the infamous Wally Pip Lou Gehrig story. This mindset cost him. Atlanta finished 1-2 under Penix and missed the playoffs. Yet Cousins remains on the roster, largely because the Falcons are on the hook for $27.5 million of his salary this year. As GM Terry Fontenot noted, Cousins' value as a backup outweighs trading him away. The bigger picture. Is this just business? Cousins' situation sparks heated debate. Should teams prioritize future assets over present loyalty? For some, drafting Penix was smart. Young QBs are franchises' lifeblood. Others argue it's a slap in the face to a veteran who delivered early wins. As Cousins himself said, "You're not entitled to anything. You've got to earn your spot." But he also acknowledged the pain. "It hurts to go into work. You've got to be a grown man and handle it with maturity." So, what do you think? Would you have signed Cousins knowing you'd draft a QB? Should teams communicate draft plans during free agency? Let us know in the comments. #NFL controversy is trending, and we want your take. 3. Kirk Cousins 2024 free agency regrets. Vikings move on, Falcons drama revealed. Imagine a quarterback who could have been a hero, but instead found himself benched and overpaid. This is the story of Kirk Cousins, who revisited his 2024 free agency decision on the show Quarterback. Cousins, the former Minnesota Vikings quarterback, made headlines when he signed a lucrative deal with the Atlanta Falcons, only to see his new team draft a rookie quarterback shortly after. This move left Cousins constantly looking over his shoulder, a situation he wouldn't have escaped even if he had stayed with the Vikings. But here's where it gets controversial. Was Cousins' decision driven by money or a desire to stay in a comfortable environment? Let's dive into the details. In 2024, Cousins signed a 2-year deal worth $100 million guaranteed with the Falcons, a total package advertised as 4 years and $180 million. This was a significant offer that few could refuse, especially considering the Vikings' reluctance to provide similar guarantees. However, Cousins expressed some regret, noting that if he had known both teams would draft a quarterback high in the draft, it might have changed his decision. And this is the part most people miss. Cousins' situation in Atlanta quickly became complicated. Cousins had a solid start with the Falcons, but a shoulder injury in Week 10 led to a 4-game losing streak, including a disappointing loss to the Vikings where he was intercepted 8 times without throwing a touchdown. His decision to continue playing despite the injury was a mix of competitive instinct and a fear of losing his role. This strategy ultimately backfired when he was benched in favor of Michael Penix Jr., and the Falcons missed the playoffs. Now, as the 2025 season approaches, Cousins finds himself in the role of an overpaid backup, with both he and the Falcons likely hoping for a trade. But what if Cousins had stayed in Minnesota? Would the outcome have been different, or would he have faced similar challenges with J.J. McCarthy on the rise? The Vikings, meanwhile, are moving forward smoothly, having drafted McCarthy and enjoyed a successful season with Sam Darnold before he moved on to Seattle. As for the broader implications, Cousins' story raises questions about the balance between personal ambition and team success. It also highlights the challenges of adapting to new environments and the importance of timing in free agency decisions. So, what do you think? Should quarterbacks prioritize long-term stability or chase the biggest contracts? Let us know in the comments. 4. Kirk Cousins reveals feelings about Falcons in Netflix's Quarterbacks Season 2. Imagine thinking you found your football home, only to discover it was a $180 million illusion. That's what Kirk Cousins experienced with the Atlanta Falcons, as revealed in Netflix's Quarterbacks Season 2. The series dropped recently, and Cousins has a lot to say about his time with the Falcons. He expressed feeling misled by the team during free agency, which, if he had known more, would have changed his decision. This situation raises questions about team management and player expectations. But here's where it gets controversial. While Cousins was paid handsomely and given a good environment to succeed, with a talented offense and strong line, he still felt the team didn't provide the transparency he needed. It's a tricky situation because, as a quarterback over 35, the NFL often views you as a short-term solution. The Falcons brass made decisions based on what they thought was best for the team, which sometimes led to mixed signals throughout the season. Cousins didn't do anything wrong by managing his injury. Players often play hurt and have no obligation to sit out. In fact, he explained that if he had taken weeks off mid-season, he might have lost his job to someone else, which highlights the pressure players face. The real issue was that it took too long for the team to decide on how to handle his injury, partly due to other performance issues like a poor defense. The situation took a turn when the Falcons faced performances like the one from the Los Angeles Chargers, which felt like a disaster. The team's message was to stick with Cousins after his early success, but the outcomes were disappointing. The lack of clear direction frustrated fans and players alike. It seemed like the team was prioritizing individual interests over team goals. Now, Cousins is the backup, but both he and the Falcons seem ready to move forward. The focus is on working together for a common goal in 2025, which is a positive step. But the question remains, how can teams balance being honest with players while making decisions that benefit the team in the long run? And this is the part most people miss. The NFL is a business, and sometimes players are seen as assets rather than people. It raises a vital debate about player rights, team loyalty, and the transparency needed in decision-making processes. What do you think? Should teams be more upfront with players about their roles and future plans, or is it simply part of the game? Let us know in the comments.